Yes, feels like I'm just about to boot up the Super Nintendo game, The Page Master, which is a game that I remember playing that reminds me of Harry Potter. Do you guys remember The Page Master?
Not at all.
I
Macaulay
remember
Culkin?
there was a movie, right?
Yes, there was a
Yeah,
movie,
yeah.
yes. It was Macaulay Culkin, and he was jumping through library, he was jumping through famous books and stuff like Treasure Island and Moby Dick.
Yeah, yeah.
They made a
Huh.
Super Nintendo game of this. And the music for that Super Nintendo game sounds like the 8-bit music for Harry Potter. I mention this because I have a migraine and my head is scattered. Greetings, fellow Armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Space Mountain.
And Monorailred.
And welcome to the House Cup Yearbook. I have an intro for this, but I completely forgot to pull it up, so we're just going to roll with it. So this is going to be years 2 and 3. It's kind of a transitional period for the game. It's where we're kind of figuring things out, or I shouldn't say we. You guys were figuring things out because I had nothing to do with this comp because I was busy with college, and I was busy, yeah, but so Space, I wanted to just kind of give you the opportunity, or Red, whoever wants to take it. Me and Jokers did the House Cup podcast for year 1. What are some of the things we missed from year 1 before we get into years 2 and 3?
Going to go, Red?
You go ahead, Space. You're good.
Okay, all right. So yeah, you guys did a really good job. You guys had an extra third party in your first podcast, too, of crickets.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And they were, like, speaking of headaches, they were ringing in my ear or my headphones. It was delightful.
No, but you guys did a good job with year 1. I think that this was definitely, I mean, we can go through a whole backstory, but I won't bore everyone with the thought process that got us to the comp. But basically, I wanted to try something new for this this slot, or whatever you want to call it, in our competitive year of Imagineering. Originally, I mean, we were going to do the creator games too, but those talks kind of fizzled out a little bit. And then I said, oh, I had so much fun in TSI doing the Xanadu project with Red, actually. And T. Cool and Flippin' and Sam and all the other people on Lasatoki. And I was like, oh, I wonder if we could do a comp that's team-based and that, like, you feel motivated to do things for your team. So that's where the idea for the House Cup came about. I was not expecting this many people in it. I think I even joked in the intro podcast. I was like, oh, we're never going to get 40. And now we have 54. So
Yeah, I don't think we even thought of this going this far. Not even.
I mean, there was a whole different format at the beginning. I was only expecting 16 people. There was actually going to be a cutoff in year 5 to have an ultimate single winner, but I threw that out the window because we got so many new people in it, which I'm so happy about, and I didn't want to confuse them with, a bunch of stuff. So it's just team-based, best team wins, and so far it's doing really well. Year 1 through 3 was definitely, like you said, a transition period, trying to learn the dynamics of, well, there's many variables, like who's going to contribute, is anyone going to contribute, because most competitions are elimination based, so that's what kind of motivates you to contribute. So are people going to contribute if they know that they're safe for 7 rounds? So and I think that overall it turned out really nicely. Fred, do you have anything to add?
Just a big shout out to all the new people for joining. I know joining a competition isn't easy. This is a lot of fun, and I'm glad you guys are having fun. I've been seeing a lot of the private messages with different challenges, and it looks like you guys are having a good time. So I just want to welcome them to the community again, and thanks for joining House Cup. You've really made this what this is currently. Thank you.
Okay, now really quickly, do you guys want to go over something that Joker and I missed, which was the format of the players actually kind of designing the challenges in a way?
Oh, yeah. So the first challenge was the Final Fantasy Land, which was you design a final phase for New Fantasyland, or just Fantasyland in general, Magic Kingdom, in Disney World. And before the comp started, I wanted to do something different. And I wanted to have, because I was going to play in it and /host, so that's also something that's different. But we can skip that for now. I'm just very tired. I'm just very exhausted now. I'm glad that we only have 10 days left. I put a lot of effort into this. But anyway, in the beginning, I wanted to say, oh, since the competitors are going to do these challenges, why don't you try to do stuff that interests you, especially since we had so many new people. So everyone put forth their ideas, and the top 7 challenges made it into the game. And they voted on this all beforehand, and the Final Fantasy Land ended up with the highest vote count. So that's what we started the comp with. And then after that, the winning team from each round would select the next challenge from the pool of challenges that they voted on before. So basically, it's twofold. One, so that I can play in it and I don't have to make up any challenges. And then 2, so there's no really complaints about the challenges. Like, you guys voted for this. So it's not like you can say, oh, I don't like this challenge.
Which I'm sure we'll get a lot of for So You Want to Be an Imagineer. I'm anticipating it.
No, I'm sure you'll be fine.
Okay, so I guess we'll just get into year 2. Red, do you want to kind of set it up?
Yeah, year 2. So Hufflepuff won year 1, so they actually got to choose what year 2 was. And if I remember correctly, they chose the Animal Kingdom Challenge, which
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure about that. And the Animal Kingdom Challenge was they were allowed to, it was Imagineers in the Lost Continent, and they were allowed to put a new continent into Animal Kingdom basically as a brand new land. Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, this was a really good team challenge, I feel like. Like, this was one of my favorites that everyone put into, actually.
All right, so first off, before we get into the main challenges, which I have not looked at all because I had a migraine all day, so I'm going to rely on you guys for that.
Yeah.
We're going to kind of take a look at probably my favorite part of the House Cup podcast that we do, me handpicking some of the mini projects, because I feel like these mini projects, some of them maybe could get glossed over in a way throughout the course of the game, and I kind of think it's fun to go back and look at some of them in the context of me just being a person who hasn't really followed the game and just sort of looking, handpicking ideas that kind of just get my attention. So with that, let me go ahead and screen share, and our first submission comes from Fox and Hound, who has Zootopia. Now, this one I'm kind of polarized on. Like I said, I kind of tend to pick the selections that actually have pros and cons in it, so you can kind of nitpick them in a way. But I like the idea of doing some sort of Zootopia project. I like the idea of having, I think Animal Kingdom definitely needs some transportation. What I'm mixed on is this whole idea of the characters in the windows. What do you guys think of this?
I thought Fox actually did an out-of-the-box idea, and I really liked that part. I liked that he banked on Zootopia. It's been a hit, and that's awesome. It was well written. The one thing that confused me a little bit was going from the African setting of Animal Kingdom Lodge to this Zootopia train to
Right.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's just transitioning from the hotel to the theme park was a little bit confusing. But I did enjoy it, definitely. I just wish it flowed a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I like the idea. I don't know quite how I feel about the windows, where it seems like I don't know how well that would play with lighting out. Because correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like with the windows, you'd be seeing the characters from the outside as a train is passing by, right?
I think I'm trying to remember what he was saying in the PM for this, but I think he was trying to make it like the Hogwarts Express.
So you're seeing the windows on the inside. Okay, that makes a difference.
I think so. Okay. Like, it was an enclosed thing, so like you're riding with Zootopia to Animal Kingdom. I think that's because this whole project was based on just transportation, which is an interesting challenge, because I wouldn't have thought of this challenge. I think this was David 2319. Oh my gosh! I just realized why that's his from Monsters Inc.
2319.
I never even. If that is why he has that, okay, that makes a lot of sense now. Because I'm like 2319. Why do I keep 2319? Oh.
I didn't get it until you just said it. I'm like, wait a second, because I had to say it 2319.
Well, David, you
David, I'm sorry.
You're watching. You picked a good challenge, and now I finally figured out.
The only reason why I was confused by the windows is just because of this picture right here, which is obviously just a reference photo, but it kind of looks like what he's implying is just, and I don't know, it'd be an interesting idea, but like I said, if you were to do this, I kind of worry, like, the screens on the outside of the trains. It would look good at night. I don't necessarily think it'd look good in the daylight, necessarily.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because you'd have, like, a really bad glare, but I don't think that's what he's even trying to do anyways. But,
yeah. And he's definitely... He's one of the newer members, and these were his first few projects, and I'm glad that he at least put himself out there, basically, and trying.
Remember, Fox is doing spectacular. I am so excited for a lot of the new members, but one that's really been shining is Fox. Like, all of his posts are very strong, and I want to see more from him in the future, definitely.
Yeah, he's good.
Okay, so now we have Disney DF. Let's see. It looks like they have just a safari omnibus, it looks like.
I thought that was kind of different. I don't know how it'd work with the terrain on the way there.
Right.
Like, you think of like a Kilimanjaro truck as the obvious answer, and they kind of just heightened it a little bit to make it like, oh, it's a double-decker. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, one of the other people that we're not going to highlight, not just, I not to say, like, they did a bad job or anything, just, a couple of those missions were just kind of safari trucks, so that's why I chose this, was it did kind of spice things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Reminds me of, like, double-decker tour buses that you'd see in San Francisco or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not too much. Is this, correct me if this is from, the goal of this project is specifically transportation from Animal Kingdom Lodge to Animal Kingdom, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, because that is the one deluxe resort that does not have a connection other than bus to a theme park, and the fact that it's so close and doesn't have just any sort of path to connect to Animal Kingdom is
right.
Yeah.
They couldn't have built it like 200 yards closer to Animal Kingdom.
Space, I didn't highlight yours just because we're going to get into another one of your projects later on, but you did a walkway, which I really liked.
That was really cool.
I measured it out, and there's a walkway from the Yacht and Beach Club to Hollywood Studios, and it's about a mile. And so that walkway would be a mile too. I figured that was the least expensive way to connect to make it a walking path.
Right. Okay, let's move on to the next one then. Let's see. So now we come to the second mini project, the Hedge of Glory. I really like the idea of just the maze. It's interesting that Alice's Curious Labyrinth in a way is kind of influencing, I feel, some of the design elements just in general of Shanghai Disneyland, not just the fact that they have an Alice maze, but just kind of how some of that park is laid out in a way, where it's kind of a little bit more non-linear than some of the other Disney parks. But anyway, so let's take a look at a couple of these. We have the Toy Story maze from I Am Not a Hufflepuff. I don't have much to say about this. I just think it would work really well. It just kind of fits with the atmosphere. Fits with, with Toy Story, you can do a lot of like little gags and nooks and crannies and stuff, and have hidden sight details and stuff like that. So
yeah. I really liked how this could be cloned and help a lot of different areas around Disney parks and resorts.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish it was a little bit more interactive than what you described. But other than that, I thought it was a solid idea, and I really liked where he was going with it.
Okay. So, let's see. Now we get into Poe Dameron, who has definitely kind of come out as one of the standout new people in the season.
Best pilot in the Resistance.
Damn right.
This was his first challenge he did, if I remember correctly.
It was his first post on the forum, ever.
Oh, wow. Wow.
For a first post...
We're seeing history.
It's great. I'm surprised this guy only has 17 posts to his name, because he's become like a really, he's become kind of a really well-liked guy around here, and it's kind of crazy that he has so few posts. It's like kind of goes to show you that every single one of his posts just has like a ton of substance to it.
Definitely.
He's kind of like the Daniel Day-Lewis of the Armchair Imagineers.
He's a man of very few words.
Okay, anyways, so what do you guys like so much about this submission?
I liked his Haunted Mansion maze. It made sense to have it during Mickey's Not So Scary. It was realistic and it was fun, and that's what a maze is, I guess. It made sense, and it was like, I'd like to do a Haunted Mansion maze. Let's be honest here.
I think I'm surprised that Disney has not gotten in on the whole maze trend. We've talked about this before. I remember doing a project. I forget what was it for. I want to say it was for the Creator Games, where we did. I don't know. It might have been. I don't know. Something about Disney doing Halloween mazes, and I remember I did.
Oh, that was the choice.
Okay, and I did stuff like I did Andy's room.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, let's see, what else did I remember I liked a lot of the ideas I had. I'm pretty sure I might have had, like, I think I had a Pirates of the Caribbean one.
I think there's Tower of Terror maze too, if I remember.
Maybe. I know there was a Temple of Doom.
Yes.
But anyways, so, okay, so that's, yeah. Okay, so now we get to Fox and the Hound. Once again, I've highlighted Fox and the Hound 3 times on this podcast. I think he has
He's
some...
a really solid player.
Yeah.
Please stay, Fox. You're really good. Stick around.
Please.
But yeah, his Inside Out. Oh my gosh, that.
I mean, just look at that picture. It just makes sense.
So well.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of hard for me not to like love that post because it makes sense. It's a solid movie and it works for Epcot. It works.
I could just picture like all the individual balls having a screen in them that shows memories.
Oh, imagine if you had like the My Magic Plus band that you could like hit before, and you had your photo passes on there, and then
dear God!
as you were going around, like
no,
that would be
some ride photos you don't want to relive though.
Yeah.
Nothing after 10 p.m.
Oh God. Or me after I get done with Trader Sam's the first night I'm at Disneyland.
Some are best.
Which I've already literally predicted is just going to be me literally just being incoherent, mumbling around Fantasyland and like writing Casey Jr. and shit like that. I don't know.
Chippendale Treehouse.
Oh God. Well, Chippendale's Treehouse I don't think is open after dark though. That's the only thing. Or else I think like it'd be kind of creepy for a grown man to just be hanging out at Chippendale's Treehouse. I mean, filming a comedy video is one thing, but just like, I'm drunk and I'm at Chippendale's Treehouse because this is an inside joke. Yeah.
See, the way that you describe it, that does sound kind of funny.
That's exactly. I'm like, hey, do you kids know that I joke about Chippendale's Treehouse being an awesome attraction, even though I think it's a shitty attraction? Yeah, I joke about that. I'm Tiki. Chippendale's Treehouse.
Traumatize all little kids.
If I didn't already traumatize, if me and Monkey didn't already traumatize them with the video we already made.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, it's a really good name.
Yeah. So I believe that's the last of the mini projects that I want to highlight for year 2. Yeah. Can you guys just kind of quickly go over the main projects for year 2?
Of course.
Yeah.
So, I guess Hufflepuff posted first, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they did. They did Europe.
So let's go over Hufflepuff's. They did a Europe land continent for Animal Kingdom. It was really interesting. It was kind of like resurging a version of Beastly Kingdom, which I kind of liked.
I'm just looking at the bottom corner.
It's Mr. Tumnus.
The guy's face was staring at me.
I love James McAvoy. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Red.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. But no, they had a lot of strong stuff. Their caravans for their quick service was spectacular. I think that was one of my favorite things that they posted. They had like gypsy caravans as a quick service, which sounded like it sounded very Yak and Yeti-ish to me. Like it's something that immerses into the like fairy tale Beastly Kingdomness of in a European setting. It was really kind of cool. And you could go like into different caravans and eat in them, and they'd all have different themes. It was kind of cool. They had a really good show, and I believe Mickey Fan did it. It was H.M. Gracie's Myths and Legends. It was big mansion reference there. It was just a show showing like different, practically myths and beasts and such of like Europe. Like I don't know how else to explain it. They had like werewolves, I believe a dragon. I want to say vampire, but I'm not sure. The top of my head, but some of it seemed a little too scary for like the family crowd. But it was interesting, the dynamic and the characters that Mickey Fan built for that. That was cool.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm kind of just. I know nothing of these projects, so I'm kind of just scrolling through trying to find concept art. Space, anything to say about this?
I really liked theirs. Hufflepuff is a strong team.
They are. They really are.
They've just been getting stronger as the comp has gone along. I
Does
believe.
I am not a Hufflepuff regret not being a Hufflepuff?
I think he might.
Hufflepuff, he just doesn't want to admit it, but.
Yeah. But I do remember. I think King did. I think it was King did concept art. It looked like his kind of concept art. It's the computer-based. I think he might have done a map or something. But he was very. It looked like he had some influence in it. Definitely Mickey Fan, like you said. I think he even had a comment afterwards that it was like he did some sort of custom thing with it too. But yeah, very well done project overall. I do think that their first one was a little bit longer. Well, not that longer is better, but it did have. I think they were also. This was challenge took 2 weeks because of final exams. We gave 2 weeks for this one. And even there was an extension a little bit afterwards just so people can have enough time. But yeah, I think overall it was a solid project.
Okay.
I think we were the next one. I think Gryffindor was next.
Yes, Gryffindor was the next one. And you guys totally trolled the rules in a sense of, we're thinking of a continent here.
Did not troll
the rules. Choices of.
I looked it up. I did my research.
What's just you, Pinch?
I did my research for that one. It's a supercontinent. It's Pangea is a supercontinent that existed 150 million years ago. So then we took the one land in Animal Kingdom, Dino Land USA, which is atrocious aside from Dinosaur, which I kind of like, and made it better.
It's not indie.
It's not. Even though I think it has the same track, but it's just...
It has the same layout, but the thing is, Adventure Blooded and I were talking about this, Indy has more of an open, spacious feel to it.
It does, it really does.
Yeah, whereas Dinosaur, it just kind of feels very cramped.
It does.
It's dark, actually dark. Like
yeah, right.
You can't see it.
Brighter.
It just feels very enclosed. And,
anyways.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed this project. I love dinosaurs, obviously. And I just wanted to make Dino Land USA better than what exists now.
It could be so much better. There's so
Yeah.
much potential for freaking dinosaurs.
And
You know what I think hurt Dino Land? I think Disney just didn't know what to do because Jurassic Park the ride already nailed a dinosaur attraction so well. I don't know. I have a feeling that Disney not having the Jurassic Park IP kind of stifled their creativity a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. But we tried to mend that here because I did a dark ride based on sauropods. So you have massive audio animatronics going around. I think Fox and Hound did a walking Pangea walking trail, which was amazing. Disney DF did The Good Dinosaur musical, which would replace Finding Nemo the musical, which I think is better for this land. And then we also did a flying pterodactyl roller coaster that would go behind Animal Kingdom. There's a lake behind Animal Kingdom that is usable land. They just don't use it. And the roller coaster would swoop down and fly in the back. And so it would basically be that scene from the movie Dinosaur, where the pterodactyl flies and you have that cool music. That was basically that. But yeah, I really like this.
Teaser trailer for Dinosaur is better than the actual movie.
Oh yeah,
in my opinion.
CGI,
I remember being so hyped for that movie.
The CGI in that movie is fantastic. Just for the time period.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that was basically, we did a whole restaurant, the Top of the World restaurant, which I thought was pretty cool because you could view rivers of light from 160 feet above the ground. Like, you can do a California grill for the Magic Kingdom fireworks, and you take a, oh yeah, we went all out for this one.
Oh yeah,
I remember.
England style.
I love your Top of the World concept. It was like, I feel like there's not like serious other than rainforest American cuisine.
Heineken, fuck that shit. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Pabst Blue Ribbon. I couldn't think of anything.
What that line's from?
No, I don't know.
A Blue Velvet. I'm sorry. It's a Dennis Hopper line. He just randomly yells right in Kyle MacLachlan's face. Heineken, fuck that shit. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Well, now we're explicit on iTunes.
Yes, we are. We are. Two swears. Wow, I've been good. I've been on my best behavior so far.
We usually give you a curse chart, but I think we let you slide this time.
I was expecting the migraine to hold it back.
Nah.
When it comes to quoting Dennis Hopper, I can't hold back.
Sorry, I even forgot that we did this. We did Glacier Gulch, which was the Arctic part of the supercontinent. So basically, we did Arctic dinosaurs.
I think having like the supercontinent wouldn't be too big of a scale for a land is relatively like I don't know exactly how big Dino Land is. I gotta think it's probably one of the smaller lands in Animal Kingdom.
We did the map. This is a very small portion of it.
Okay.
And if you remove, which was what we did, we removed Dinosaur the ride, and that opens up a ton of space in the back.
Oh yeah, if you remove Dinosaur, yeah, that would open.
So we pushed everything back, and then opened up like the Dino-Rama nonsense takes up a large portion, and then the Boneyard. The who?
Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
We're not going to talk about that.
The Boneyard takes up a lot of space, and then moving like basically the size of Restaurantosaurus and putting it on top of something will clear up that space. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
there's a decent amount. But yeah, I just remember going all out on this one because we came in third in the first round. And
you guys had a really good submission too. So
nobody knew what we were trying to do. We were trying to recreate the CD-ROM from 1998.
Jokers knew what you were trying to do. Jokers knew.
Jokers knew, and I was really happy that someone finally figured it out. I was like, yes. My childhood is reborn.
And as was his.
Yeah, I like this. This was just a D-zone area to replace the Boneyard. And then this is Fox's walking trail, which is really good.
Once again, you go all out with the art, of course.
Well, this one we had 2 weeks, and I was done with finals on the 6th, and I
Oh,
didn't
there you
start.
go.
I didn't start my next class until the week after, so I was like, "Yeah, I'm going all. We're winning this one." I was like, I'm on a mission. Felt like the Blues Brothers.
Oh God. Or
And
rocket
then this is
power. You are riders on a mission. Action kids in fun
oh god,
position. Prepare to count down. Rocket power. Yeah. I have no idea why I felt the need to quote that right
We went from Blues Brothers to Rocket.
the drastic shift
That was a thing.
from John Belushi to Twister.
Oh God. Oh God. Went to John Belushi to the Crypt Keeper.
Oh, God. To Ray Moon.
Yeah, Ray Mundo. Yes, yes. Okay.
And
Anything
then,
else with Gryffindor?
that's Disney DF's Good Dinosaur. She did a really good job with that. I
Yeah.
think she's into theater, so that she's good with musicals.
Okay.
Gryffindor overall had a really strong submission. Like, honestly, there's not much that I didn't like about it. I mean, if I didn't like something, I do not remember what it is.
Oh my God.
It was.
I'm sorry. Are you guys
What's that?
Huh?
that the Voldemort smile? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Right, keep going. I'm just like, oh my God, that's a priceless image. I want that to be the thumbnail now. Wow. That's just a thing of beauty right there.
Anyways, yeah, Gryffindor did a great job. Gold star, everybody. Keep up the good work.
And then I believe Slytherin was the next team after that, and then Ravenclaw did not submit that round. Slytherin did Antarctica, if I remember right.
Yes, they did.
Did Basket Buddy do concept art for this? I'm pretty
Yes,
sure.
he did, and it was really cool. It was like, I
I'm
believe.
gonna have to
it was
upload some of the Basket Buddy concept art to the Sunlight.
That is, who is that?
page.
Who did this? Red.
Hmm?
Who did that concept art right there?
I can't see it, honestly. Like, screen share's not working on my screen for some reason.
Oh, shoot.
There we go. Oh, it looks like it's hand drawn.
It is hand drawn.
Hand drawn. I want to say Owl Song. I believe she started year 2.
Did she did join this year. Did she used to do concept? She used to So You Want to Be an Imagineer player.
Yeah, but she only played one time in So You Want to Be an Imagineer.
Oh,
She was more of a fan of So You Want to Be an Imagineer.
Okay. Well, it looks like that is her.
I believe it's her. I'm not positive. Don't write me up on that, but I believe it's her.
Well, I'm trying to think of who else would do Puff. Maybe it was Puff.
Whoever did it, good job. Gold star to you.
Oh God. Oh God. All right, let's
But
talk
no,
about.
this was a cool idea.
Yeah.
It just for some reason to me, it seemed more man-made than Animal Kingdom. Like, it wasn't focusing enough on the animals and nature of the thing, which kind of, I don't know. I feel like that's what Animal Kingdom's all about. And I like this for a land for, like, if this was for Disney Sea, this would be like, no question. But I feel like I was missing a nature and animal aspect here. Like, it could have been a stronger presence than what it was in this. But I did like attractions in here, and I did like the restaurant, and it was a strong post.
I really like this. I really like this.
Yeah, I like that too. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I believe D Squared did that. Or
That's really cool. Yeah.
Where it's on Ravenclaw.
wait, no, he's on Ravenclaw. Just kidding. That's not D Squared.
It does look like D Squared's concept.
It does. That's probably why I got mixed up.
That looks like Basket Buddy right there.
That's
It was
definitely
Basket
Basket
Buddy.
Buddy.
He killed it. That's the entrance to the land, if I remember correctly.
Was that a sunken submarine I see?
It looks like it.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Basket Buddy, come back
A lot
and
of
do some
sunken
art.
ships. You never really see sunken submarines like that. Okay, that's about it. Anything else to say about that?
Good post, guys. Keep up the good work. Basket Buddy, come back. I miss your art.
Yeah,
And
Basket Buddy, please somehow show up before So You Want to Be an Imagineer starts. please.
Gotta come back, basketball.
I
Please,
mean, not to
please.
say that we're lacking on people. I'm very happy with the So You Want to Be an Imagineer cast, but I mostly just want to see a Basket Buddy versus Space concept art showdown.
And
That would
Red
be
now
interesting.
too. Red's in it now too.
Oh yes, you're
That's
right.
true. That's true.
That would be pretty cool.
Oh god.
Yeah, that'd be
I
cool.
would like to see
The
that.
3 different art mediums.
Because yeah, Red's like a combination of both, like hand
I'm
drawn
like, oh,
computer art, whereas Basket Buddy's straight computer art, and then I'm just hand drawn.
Right.
It's the different,
Okay, so
Okay.
let's get to some of these mini projects for year 3. Any setup you guys want to give for year 3 in general?
Um,
I think we won year 2, Gryffindor. So then we chose the next challenge, and since a few people on the team like Deary and Rare Panther were still dealing with finals, I believe, we wanted to go for a very small challenge, which was, well, small in scale, so we don't have to build an entire land, just like one attraction. We picked the concept that Be an Imagineer designed, which was to create a Pixar e-ticket based on a Pixar film or short that hasn't been used in the parks before. So that was interesting. We actually, if I remember right, we'll get to it, but we had 2 of the same. We had 2 Wally projects, and
both in
Our
Tomorrowland.
share and then 1-up project.
I think Wally is probably the most natural pick because it does go so well with Tomorrowland.
It does.
I like that
really
prompt
does.
though because it does force you to get creative because it's like you have Finding Nemo, you have Toy Story, Monsters Inc. All that's already been done.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a select sample size you can pull from. I mean, what is there? There's like
The Incredibles.
I am so surprised The Incredibles never got a theme park attraction.
I'm surprised too. It would be a really cool attraction if they did something with the
Brave.
Up.
Which is what we did.
Yeah. I really want to see a Peter Pan's Flight style up ride.
You guys did that, right?
Yeah,
for
we
Teen
did.
Time?
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did not want to copy that, so we did something else.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, that is a really good concept. I think that would work really well.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay, but before we get into that, let's get into some of these mini projects. We have the California Screamin' retheme, Space. You're a man who's after my own heart with your Beach Boys. I mean, come on now.
I was telling you before the show, but I was watching California Screamin' to try and think of an idea, and I was listening to the Beach Boys while I was doing that, and I was like, oh my gosh, this actually fits. So why don't I just do that? So then, basically, you put the ride on mute and you listen to the Beach Boys, and it flows throughout the whole ride. I think it was Catch a Wave that I used.
Okay.
And it, like, literally, it feels like you're on the ride. And I was like, this is perfect.
Nice.
I was like, end of story.
Yeah, I'm very partial to the Beach Boys. They're one of, if not the first bands that I really connected to and loved as a kid. So, yeah. And also, Brian Wilson, I believe today is his birthday, actually.
I think you're right,
Yeah, so there you go. Okay, because I remember sharing that on Facebook. Okay. So, not a ton of detail here, but these are mini projects, so...
Yeah.
I guess we could say that you have to use 5 sentences. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can't use too much. And that's really to give encouragement to people who might not be ready for a big challenge to try something.
Mm-hmm.
And so far it's worked. Actually, Disney Dad 3000 just posted another mini challenge for this round, so that's good that people are submitting.
Okay, and speaking of someone after my own heart, guys, Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk is my childhood way more than Disney is my childhood. Like, Disney is like my teenage, adolescent years is when I started getting into Disney. I mean the parks, at least. Obviously, as a kid, I would watch the movies and everything, but I digress. In terms of theme parks, yeah, this is my shit. This is my jam. So, yeah, the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, you guys know how much of a coaster fanatic I am. This is the first roller coaster I ever went on. Right here.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
wow.
That one, right there, right
So
there.
much history on this podcast.
So much. Revealing everything.
But
First Poe and now this.
Oh, and now
I don't know. I don't have much to say except I love the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. I'm very glad someone used it. Uh, the actual project itself, it's just kind of a repaint if I'm
I
getting
believe
that
so.
right.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I think is fine. I actually think I really really like the color scheme of the Giant Dipper. It's the white and the red. I think it's a nice contrast. I certainly like it a lot better than the Pepto Bismol pink of the other Giant Dipper we have in California. But at Luna or what's the park that's in? I don't know. It's Belmont Park, I think, in San Diego. But I digress. The one in San Diego is actually almost identical to this one, except it has a curved drop.
Oh,
But
okay.
Okay.
but anyways, yeah.
I
I
think
just
it was a
you
good
know, like I said, this is my childhood right here. It's just like totally just like I haven't been to the boardwalk in like 5 years. I kind of miss it, so warms my heart. Okay.
And this guy's doing so he wants to be an Imagineer too.
He is.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Now he knows how to get to you.
oh god.
You all Santa Cruz.
Everything is going to be part of that boardwalk. Everything.
Every project that he does is now going to be Santa Cruz.
The Breaking Bad project for Universal Studios, Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk.
Santa Cruz Boardwalk. Gus Fring's Adventures. Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk.
And speaking of things that seem a little out of place, how about that transition?
Oh, we're back to Poe again.
Yeah, Poe, I love ya. I actually kind of like this idea in a batshit crazy kind of way, but yeah, this is a little out there.
Volcano.
Yeah.
I don't know where he was going with this one.
I mean, look, I just the idea of a giant frickin' volcano in the middle of Paradise Pier, it's obviously out of place, but it also makes me chuckle at the same time. You know what I mean?
I was an erupting volcano paradise. You like that oxymoron.
It's so weird and funny, it's great.
That's exactly how I feel about it. Yeah.
And watch, he probably got a ton of likes for it too, just because he's.
Let's see how many likes he got for it. He got let's see. I liked it. Eight people.
Not too bad.
Yeah. And also, T. Cole did Metallica, and I just don't think Metallica fits in a Disney park at all. So, in spite of the volcano being out of place, I actually do think Jimmy Buffett fits with California Screamin' more than Metallica does, at least.
Yeah, I like how he did a Christmas overlay though, because Disneyland's kind of known for that. So I kind of like where he was going with it.
He should have done the what's that band? The Christmas band.
The Christmas band.
Band. They do the holiday stuff. It's a
Mannheim Steamroller.
No.
I know what you're talking about, right?
Trans-Siberian Orchestra. You should have done the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Well, Beach Boys would actually be really easy to convert into a Christmas overlay.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Space ran home with this one. Like, there's no other way around it. Like, the Beach Boys fit. They just perfect. Yeah. I never thought of that before.
Just for kicks, I'd put Jimmy Buffett second, though.
Just in the middle of the Beach Boys song, just have...
Cheeseburger in paradise. God. Okay, now we get to the icon not believe we're doing this mini project.
I
Speaking
cannot
of frickin' volcanoes. Literally that's the only reason I even selected this is just because of the irony of the volcano thing. But yeah, volcano.
It was interesting that you selected that guy because this was the guy that I wrote in our cheat sheet notes in the podcast. As I was really happy, this guy in particular, because he joined May 27th, and he was a lurker on just the forums in general, and saw that it was, wide open, anyone can join, and he joined, and then he's been very good.
Cool.
Yeah.
KMB, MW, I just call him KMB in my head, I guess. But he, took the ground running. Like, he was ready to do stuff for Hufflepuff. He was ready to do a mini challenge. Like, for just starting out, similar to Poe. Like, he doesn't have many messages, like only 26, but he's been killing it. Like, I hope he sticks around because he has some really good content.
When we get to year 4, he did a really good Quidditch World Cup project.
Yes, he did. He
blew everyone away.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this project was good too.
He needs to stick around.
Oh God.
There's so much more. They're so much more like zoomy than I expected to be.
That should be the still for the podcast right there. Just that zoom in face.
I actually had this as my avatar for a long time. So
you did, yeah. Should be that and Voldemort behind him.
I can Photoshop that. I can Photoshop that.
Just laughing in the back, like.
maybe like on this side have the Voldemort hug, and then on this side have just Voldemort smiling. Because I love the Voldemort hug. I love the Voldemort
awkward hug.
Oh my God, that is the most unintentionally hilarious thing I have ever seen.
Okay.
In the climax,
I love the hell out of that. Have I ever told you guys about how me and my sister, when we saw Deathly Hallows Part 2, because we grew up with Harry Potter and we have like a ton of in-jokes about Harry Potter, and they all kind of culminated with Deathly Hallows Part 2. In the theater, we were just like, everyone around us probably wanted to kill us because we were just kind of having the time of our lives just ripping it. But the moment that we just lost it, that we just could not contain ourselves, King's Cross. Harry, my dear boy, my beautiful child. Something about that delivery, we're just like, oh dear, oh no.
Oh gosh. The books were much better.
Yeah, in general, yeah. I think the movies peaked after Quran, but
oh, definitely.
Now, Aram did have a good idea, because Disneyland Paris does need something, anything.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Especially the studios needs anything.
You guys know how I feel about the studios. Middle school campus of Disney parks.
Pretty much.
It's just like, oh, hey, look, here's a building, and here's a building, and here's another building.
Disneyland Paris' studios.
Buildings for all. I mean, with Hollywood studios, you guys have like Echo Lake and stuff like that to kind of make it a little more dynamic, but...
Yes. But even then, it's not much.
Yeah, I know, but it's something. It's something.
It's a little bit more.
A little bit.
A little bit. I like what he did trying to make the icon just a little bit more prominent, because you can kind of see it like in the background of the picture, but it's not like something that's like, oh, this is
it the Hollywood thing?
Paris. Like, you don't think of that. You think of like the Hollywood sign in the back. You would like think of more of a mega icon than just
like just looking at this picture, I would not guess that would be the main icon of the park.
Like, when I look at it, I don't know why, but I think of Superstar Limo's exterior. I just every time I see that picture, just look at it.
I'll have a little bit more dignity to it and say it looks like the Toontown Hills.
Okay.
Which the Toontown Hills were emulating the Hollywood Hills anyways, so I guess yeah.
It does look eerily similar to Superstar.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh shoot. Margins. One with margins. All right. Okay, so I really like this one. Let's get to
Angels is killing it. Like, he
is.
He hit the ground running.
He might be one of my early draft picks when we do a So You Want to Be an Imagineer fantasy draft.
Oh yes, that's coming back.
Yeah, we need to do that. Yeah.
If I remember right, he took the 1939 World's Fair and took the Hyperion building and made it the center of Westcott.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Because
World's Fairs are something that just fascinate me in general in terms of like how you can kind of trace the development of World Fairs with the development of Disney in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I thought this was a really good one. I think he might have won, actually, the mini challenge for this round.
It was really good.
Yeah.
I never thought of this before, and it fits
Mhm.
perfectly if you did a Westcott.
Okay, so, oh god.
Here's a nice little reminder.
Okay, so let me just scroll through this.
And these are the main projects.
Okay, here we go.
So we don't
Yeah.
have a ton of time, but it doesn't seem
Yeah.
like this is a super high scale project. So
I could sum it up in like 2 minutes.
cool, cool.
Um,
So I'm not a big fan of Sanjay's Super Team.
Neither.
I think Pixar has been killing it with their shorts in like Lava and Piper. Or like Piper's the one that's attached to Finding Dory. Neither of you have had a chance to see Finding Dory.
No, I haven't seen it.
Not yet.
Yeah, Piper is like obviously be sure to get there for the short because Piper is one of the best Pixar shorts along with Lava. They've been killing it with the shorts. Except for this.
I actually
Culturally,
like Sanjay's Super Team.
culturally I think it's interesting. It's got one of the more interesting backstories of a Pixar short.
Yes.
But I don't necessarily think it I don't know. I just remember kind of
I don't know how I feel about it in Epcot, honestly.
If I remember right, they built an entire India pavilion for Epcot World Showcase just for this ride, and
which yeah.
I don't know.
This is the short that came attached to the one Pixar film at the box office that didn't make money. So,
And I also think, like, with Frozen and everything going into Epcot, the last thing we
Oh,
want
God.
is another IP going into Epcot World Showcase.
exactly.
So I believe they were ranked 4th for this challenge, and I also think that, I mean, they had a good I mean, Hufflepuff always has a good foundation to work with, but I think after this project, they only had one paragraph in the next one, but I think year 5 they really kicked it up with their new members.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah. We'll get to that in another podcast, but yeah, after them, I believe it was Ravenclaw and Slytherin both did WALL-E, and I don't know how Red and Fox divided this up because it seemed like basically a similar project. I think both were solid. Both would fit very well in Tomorrowland. I think both went into Tomorrowland. If I'm
Yeah.
wrong.
Yes. One went over by Autopia, and then one went over behind
It's behind Buzz
Buzz
Lightyear.
and Carousel of Progress.
It's in that open theater area. So yeah, both were very, very good. And then we did Up because Up is one of my favorite Pixar movies.
And Gryffindor ran home with that.
And I remember I wanted to be more ambitious with this one, but then I ran out of time. I wanted to make the adventure book, like the actual adventure book, and have that be the presentation, but I did not have time to do the website.
Shout out to Basket Buddy again.
I did not have time to do the website for that. So the pictures you see were supposed to be.
scrolling through the WALL-E stuff right now. Give me a second.
Oh yeah,
Okay, here we go.
there it is.
There we go.
Yeah, that was scrapped together at the last minute. Oh my.
I'm going to be like totally honest. I haven't seen all of Up, and yet this was such a good storyline that
You've
actually
seen the first
won
10
me
minutes,
over.
I assume. You've seen Married Life.
Yeah, I've seen the first 10 minutes.
Okay, I
And so-
consider Married Life to be almost like a short film unto itself.
Within itself, yeah.
Yeah, and I consider
That would-
Married Life as a short film, if you look at it like that, to be the best thing Pixar's ever done. But I digress.
It's really good.
That would be the best Pixar short if that was a short.
I remember when we did the Inside Out spoiler cast. I don't remember, Space, if you were involved in that or not, but like I was trying to make the claim that I do think Inside Out is probably, like, in my humble opinion, the best Pixar movie. I know that's up for debate, but in my opinion, I think it is the best. But I was trying to kind of explain with the asterisks that I don't think anything in Inside Out eclipses Married Life. Like,
Yes.
I
think that might.
is a much stronger film than Up as a whole, but
Yeah.
Married Life is still the peak of Pixar.
I agree
Yeah.
wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
But basically, this whole ride, we put it in Adventureland, in the Magic Kingdom, because Magic Kingdom has not had an
Those
e-ticket
look
since
like Inside Out emotions.
This actually looks like a real Disney attraction poster.
I'm
I'm
just pointing
sorry.
that out. This looks like an Inside Out and
It does look
Up
like the Inside Out.
crossover.
Yeah, it does.
And also, Inside Out and Up would actually make an amazing crossover. Can you imagine that? Like, seeing Carl's emotions? That would be great.
They're all angry.
All angry. All
That's
of them.
actually an idea. Like, that just kind of popped in my head. Like, what if they did an Inside Out sequel, but using already established Pixar characters?
Oh
And
my
That would
just
God.
be
seeing inside
interesting.
their heads.
That would be very trippy. To go inside cars. What would be inside
Oh god, let's not even go
Little
down.
car.
Lightning McQueen's head? What would that be?
Like the little smart cars, they would.
What would be inside Ratatouille's head? More rats?
Little mice. I don't know.
Ratatouille is a dish space. Ratatouille is not a character.
So it would be.
Oh my gosh, did I just say it too?
Yeah.
I mean Remy the rat.
The chef
Not Ratatouille, the
would be hilarious to see the emotions inside. That would actually be really funny.
Yeah. Let's see what the emotions inside a pasta dish are.
I think a runner-up for the best Pixar, like not necessarily the best scene, but the best Pixar moment, is the moment where Anton Ego takes the bite of Ratatouille and he flashes back to his childhood.
That is really good.
I think Married Life is the best sequence. That is the best single moment.
Yeah.
It is. It's really good.
Okay. This is an original poster you guys did, right?
No, I found that online.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah,
it looks like artwork though. Well, I mean,
It
obviously
does.
it's
It looks
artwork.
like a real attraction poster. I'm pretty.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I was originally going to do the original poster for it, but I ran out of time. Yeah, I was supposed to do the adventure book thing.
That would have been a lot of effort, though. That would have been a
That would have
huge
been
amount of effort.
I looked at my clock and there was like 5 hours. We were the last post, and I'm pretty sure I posted like 5 minutes beforehand. Yeah, we were cramped for time. Yeah, we basically built like a little mini Paradise Falls thing. Not really that many. It's massive. 170 feet 3 tall. Now I'm reading my own poster. But yeah, it was supposed to be the new mountain of the mountain range of the Magic Kingdom, and I'm pretty sure in the last post I put like the perspective of how it would look in the Magic Kingdom, and it was really cool. We built the house on top of Paradise Falls, like at the ending. Spoiler alert. My favorite, actually, that might be up there with that as one of my favorite scenes when the clouds disappear and you see that the house landed on the same place.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen that part. No, I wasn't your final post where you're like the balloons come out.
Yes.
No, you mean the movie. Okay, I can't talk. Did you finish it?
Basically, we did like I don't like to do a recap of the entire film because I think that's a little bit like redundant to ride a ride.
Oh yeah, it is. Damn straight.
So
You'll hear me talk about that a lot, and so you want to be an Imagineer if people do that.
Well, no, if we're going to do a review over the Frozen ride, we'll see how that goes.
oh my gosh,
Oh god. Oh.
So I like to do a bit of like non-linear type of thing.
Do you want to build a snowman? C2. For the first time ever, just basically all the frickin' songs, and that's the ride. That's what it's gonna be. Don't act like you don't think that's what it's gonna be.
Every boat has a sing-along little iPad in front of it, so you can sing along with the words.
Pick your song for the ride.
Just follow the bouncing Olaf, and it just goes along.
I kind of hope that they keep the troll animatronic and just have that instead of the trolls. You know why? Because that would be a good way to troll the guests.
Oh no, they took out the trolls. Oh, we already saw pictures of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they replaced it with the snowman. The
Okay.
the abominable, whatever the thing is. What's it called?
Okay.
Abominable? No, that's Frosted Snow. What is it?
Marshmallow is the name of
Marshmallow.
the giant.
Yes. That's the troll now.
I wonder how they do
Anyway,
that in the Frozen show. I haven't seen how they do that in the new Frozen show.
Anyway, for this project, yeah, we basically do a little bit of what was it? It was inspired by what's in the movie. Some certain scenes from the movie, but you went on your own adventure through it. So it was kind of like going through the movie, but from your own perspective. Um, and it was a kind of like Gringotts style ride, but flying around. I believe there was one roller coaster portion of the ride where you go through the dogfight in the sky with the airplanes, and then some dark ride scenes, and yeah, basically just that was the ride. I don't remember much more after that, but I do remember at the end we had like how Gringotts has the dragon on top of the bank. We had the house on top of the mountain that would, at certain times in the day, rise up with balloons. So it looked like the movie.
which I thought was a really nice touch because you could see it from the
I'm
rest of
reading
the
this
house.
note right now, and I'm like literally like getting emotional.
Oh, I wrote that.
Oh my gosh! I
Yes,
mean, this cue that Gryffindor did is crazy. Like, I don't know. This has to be one of my favorite cues I have honestly ever seen on the forums.
because we used hydrolator. That's why. We used a vertical hydrolator. So instead of going down, we went up.
Nice,
Up.
nice.
Well, it'd be weird if the up ride went down.
I'm pretty sure I said in the PM for this that I wanted to supply tissues on the queue because I wanted to make everyone cry.
Inside out tissues.
All the emotions.
Oh god. Oh god. All right, so
But yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's about it, guys. So do you guys have anything to tease for year 4?
This I feel was the point in the competition where it really took off. Because before this, I was hesitant to like overpower everyone with Harry Potter references. So people like King were not too familiar with Harry Potter, and I knew other people weren't too familiar with Harry Potter. So I don't want to be like, oh, here's Neville Longbottom and all these.
There's Neville Longbottom, the first thing that comes
And
to
I'm
mind.
like, I wanted to keep it like the theme with the houses and everything as much as possible. But as we went on, I was like, year 4 is year 4 and 5 are my 2 favorite books. Year 3 is probably my favorite movie, The Prisoner of Azkaban. But year 4 has the Quidditch World Cup, Triwizard Tournament. I was like, there's a lot of things that we could do with this for the House Cup itself. So I'm like, oh, we're gonna try it.
Year
And
4 is actually the year being space battled over here, so we get to maybe.
yeah, and then I went to Red and I was like, let's spice this comp up and duel each other. And so after that, a lot of people started dueling each other with the Quidditch World Cup, and that's really where I think the comp took
It was
off.
fun. It was
Yeah.
a fun year.
Okay.
That was fun. That was one of my favorites.
And just to kind of end things out on a Harry Potter comparison, you guys remember, like, if you were I assume you both followed Harry Potter, like, the books.
Oh,
Years
yeah.
1 through 3, very thin in comparison to the rest of the books.
Exactly.
When year
Yes.
4 dropped, and it was, like, that thick, like, 800-page monstrosity, I
Yes.
think that was probably the first book over 500 pages most of us read.
I would, yes.
And I just think that's like such a milestone with like, I love how Harry Potter did that, where they introduced you with these smaller books, and then like, here's year 4, here's like, like 2/3 of Lord of the Rings.
Here's all 3 of the first year books in one.
Exactly.
It's a giant book.
So I think
And
it's
then-
very appropriate that that this competition kind of finds its footing in year 4, where year 4 in Harry Potter was definitely kind of like the transitional period for the readers as well, and it's
I actually
obvious.
didn't even think of it that way.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
That's a good way to end it.
Okay, so on that note, well, witches and wizards, that's all for now. We lower our wands and vanquish our Lumos spells as the lights dim on another year of the House Cup Yearbook. Now let's all give Voldemort a big ol' hug, shall we?